but take a full 7 to 10 days and travel. It's going to take you, you're going to need 2 of those days for a full day of travel, because I suggest that you go over, overseas across the country, because so that you can experience the culture of something for 5 days. You don't have to go all in the, in the backwoods or the bushes and stuff. You could go to a hotel, but just go and experience the culture, because it'll change your entire mindset of things that you think is everyday, general, known across the world. Like things that we think is general and everybody knows it. It's not so much when you go across the, across the seas. So that's my suggestion to everybody. Travel, take a full 10 days and experience the culture of something else, just so that your mind can expand.
Right. So what else could you say to encourage people who, who want to sing or do other things, but they're afraid to take that leap of faith as you did? What type of things did you prepare to do? I know you said you never could imagine you being there, but at some point, when you have that gift, and that, like the Bible says, that your gift will make room for you. Absolutely. What did you do to prepare? I know you said singing around the table with the family, but what other things did you do?
Well, you have to take everything that you do in life as a learning lesson. And me, being the worship leader under Apostle Jesse West, the discipline and things that he taught, as far as just being the worship leader, this is your occupation, your job, and then this is also your ministry. There's things you can't do that other people do because you're in ministry. There's things that, there's sacrifices that you have to make because you're over a team. You have things you have to do. I would say everything that you do in life is going to prepare you to do what you want to do. So if you're used to being late to work, you might want to start, if you're not working for yourself to where you can be late every day, you might want to start, disciplining yourself in areas that will tie you to your next, to what it is that you want to do in life. The first thing you have to do is understand that anything, I don't care if it's occupation or if it's technical or a job or leisure, anything that you want to do is going to require some sacrifice for you. If you're not willing to make any sacrifices, you might as well just get up and go to your 9 to 5.
Right.
And you're still making sacrifices for that, because sometimes you don't want to get up. So anything that you want to do, especially if it's something that you have a passion, and if you're scared, that's the thing you need to do. That's going to take sacrifice for you. So don't get angry about the sacrifices. Understand it's like taking medicine if you want to get better.
Right.
Medicine don't taste good. But at the end of the medicine, after you swallow it, after you make the faces, after take the cough syrup or whatever, you understand this is helping me get better.
Right.
The discipline that you don't like is going to help you get better to the things that you want to do. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has a passion. Everybody has that thing that they know that they're good at. Start making any small sacrifices for that thing. Even if you started in the corner, if it's something, if you draw, if you write something a little bit, because you write books. Write something a little bit this day. Write something a little bit this day. But if you never make a sacrifice to do it, you'll never get it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's powerful, That's really powerful. Our guests are, the purpose of the Speak Life podcast is to encourage people to live out their dreams, to get started where you're getting started. And this is really, really good advice,
Always start. It doesn't matter where, how, you just have to start. Because if you keep saying, I wish I could, that's not starting. You're not you're not putting even a little bit of effort into what it is that you really want to do. And if you start it, you'll start to see that you're really good at it. Like, how do you know how to do this? But that's what you're here for. So you have to start it, and you don't have to start it fast. You don't have to start it like we started. You just got to start it.
Right. Right. You just have to start it. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to
start it.
put one foot in front of the other and keep it moving. And don't worry about the naysayers. And I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Did you run into a lot of backlash from people about leaving the country or anything like that?
Absolutely. I mean, when you're doing something that somebody else ain't doing, they always gonna find something wrong with it.
Wow.
So I was leaving ministry and I was leaving the church to go across the country to sing, top 40 songs or Motown songs. And of course you have people like, oh, how she ain't supposed to sing that? Like, she's a worship leader. Well, you were singing it on your way to church when I was still a worship leader. So, what's the difference? Kind of the same. And I'm not worshiping, we didn't do vulgar songs. We didn't do,
Right.
Like I said, there's a message behind every song, and I got to have the say so in what I sang.
Right.
So, I grew up on Anita Baker. I grew up on Aretha Franklin. I grew up on Whitney Houston.
Right.
And these are the songs when I was younger. I was like, oh my God, I wish I could sing these songs. And a lot of times, it's so funny when I was rehearsing these songs, I would laugh to myself because I'd be like, I remember when I was 11 thinking, man, I want to sing this song. Right. And I'm literally getting to perform it. So these are the things that, would come up to my remembrance. The Holy Spirit would bring to my remembrance, like, this is what you prayed for, or this is what you said when you didn't even know what you were saying. So always know backlash is going to come. But the thing is, you're doing what they're not. They're sitting at home talking about you while you're living what you said you were going to do.
Right.
So it's going to require tough skin, because sometimes it will get hard, because if all you can hear or all you can feel is the negative from people, you have to understand that this is all a part of your journey. You're not living anyone else's journey. It's your journey. Right. And so the backlash that you will receive, and luckily, I was groomed for backlash since I grew up in the church, so everybody has their opinion on what Charlotte should be doing with her life, because your mom is a pastor, your brother is a pastor, this is what you grew up in, and of course they were going to have their opinions about my life. They had their opinions about my life when I was actually doing what I thought they wanted me to do. So, the backlash I knew was coming, but I also knew this is something that I prayed for. And the Lord is not going to allow this opportunity to open and for it not to get glory out of it.
Right.
I've touched a lot of lives.
Right.
I have numerous friends around the country now, and I get invited to conferences now. Not just because when I was there, everybody was like, well, when did you start singing? Well, in church. Really? Mm-hmm. So that's how the story starts. Right. So there's always a God part of every situation. You just got to find the God part.
Right. And we get so caught up in nonsense, just
and that's
nonsense.
Exactly what it is, nonsense.
God has, we have to, as long as we're not out of order, like you said, as long as you're not doing anything to compromise your character and your integrity,
Absolutely.
Then everything is fine.
Right. Your opinion is your opinion.
Right.
I can't live your life for you. I don't think you should wear that shirt with them jeans, but hey, if you like it, I love it. It's my opinion. I'm not going to ruin your day with my opinion. So, a lot of that comes with maturity, and a lot of that because a lot of people won't be able to do. Right. Won't be able to even pursue their dream. Right. Because they're so scared and worried about what people are going to say.
Right. They're scared, and like you said, they're not doing what you're doing. They're not taking a leap of faith like you're taking a leap of faith.
Absolutely.
Why are you doing that? What you doing that for? And the naysayers, but in the meantime, they all sitting there broke. Empty pockets and no type of Nobody's asking.
No type of motivation.
No one's asking to take snapshots and selfies with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So of course there's going to be a little bit of jealousy. So a few last thoughts because we're going to wrap up. What advice, what was one more piece of advice that you could give to our audience?
Like I said, my piece of advice would, I would say, even if it scares you, do it. Because there's a saying that the thing that you want is right on the other side of your fear. Once you get past it being scary, it becomes what you do. Get tough skin, because opposition comes with progression. And while you're doing it, be fly. That's all I got to say. While you're doing it, be cute. Be as cute as you want to be, baby. Because especially, I don't know about men, but women, when we feel cute, we move a little better. It's a little easier. So while you're doing what scares you the most, progressing, be cute while doing it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Charlotte Chaney.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, listen to the record, You've Been So Faithful by Eddie James.
Eddie James and the Phoenix Mass Choir. The album is called Higher.
Yes.
So I'm on a lot of other songs on that album.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. So listen to that album, and it's retro, but it's
really
anointed
good.
and it's still being played all across the country in the gospel world. So we thank you all for joining us on this podcast, on the Speak Life podcast. And we say, I hope something blessed you, and I hope you get motivated by, our special guest and her journey. And just remember to speak life.